Hi, everybody. This is Karen Buford. Oh, thank you. This is Karen Buford. I am live in my studio, and I'm going to do an acrylic pour. I started out earlier today on Facebook and did a couple of acrylic pours, and some of my friends saw that. And I thought that it was kind of a long video. It was about an hour. And I wanted to do a couple of more. I have 3 more of them. I'm doing an acrylic pour for a photo transfer. And I'm doing this for some black cowboys. This is going to be a background. It's going to be for some black cowboys. These are some pictures that I got off of people's Facebook pages that actually are able to attend black rodeos. I live in Las Vegas, and I haven't seen any black rodeos advertised here. I used to go to the Bill Pickett Invitational Black Rodeo, and I really enjoyed that. I haven't seen that here. I've seen some other types of rodeos here, and I have attended some of them, but I haven't been able to see those. So this is one that I'm going to do. A man, and he's doing something called bulldogging, I believe. I haven't been in a long time, so I might be incorrect about that. And then I'm going to do a background for that. And then I'm going to do a background for this guy right here, who's getting ready to rope a steer. And that might also be bulldogging, I'm not sure. And then I'm going to do one for this lady. She is riding a horse and taking her horse through its rounds. And I poured a background already for this guy. And he's getting ready to rope a calf. Getting ready to lasso a calf. And I also did one for a piece of art that I've done on. I created this using my computer, my iOS version of Photoshop, and this is a lady named Shotgun Mary, and she was in the 1800s. She was one of the first black women, or probably maybe the only one, I don't know, that was a stagecoach shotgun rider. She worked on the stagecoach as riding shotgun for Wells Fargo back in the 1800s. And I did this. This was the historical picture of her, and down at her feet, dog. And so I did her. She lived in many different, but I know she bought a restaurant in let's see, in Wyoming, I believe, and she ran a brothel, and I think she owned a mine, like a gold mine or a silver mine or a molybdenum mine somewhere, and she got quite wealthy. But I decided to do this because she got famous for riding stagecoach, for riding as shotgun on stagecoach, and so that's how she got her name, Stagecoach Mary. So I already did acrylic pour for her, but right now I'm going to do one for one of these pictures. I just dropped a bunch of them on the floor. So I'm going to do one for those. And I have already mixed up my paints, and they're on the table. So I'm going to get these 3 where I can see them and make those up. And these are going to be 11 by 14. So all I have to do now is add some Floetrol to these. And so I have these all ready to go. And I'm going to put some of these things up off of here. And then I'll tilt the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And hopefully, last time I tried to pour this, my camera decided that it wanted to be part of the picture and decided to fall into the paint, which was not a good thing. So I'm going to have to invest in another form of stand. So I probably get one that stands and can look over my shoulder. So I have to look into that and see what's going on. But here's my Floetrol, and shake that up so it has lots of nice, good bubbles in it. And pour some of that in here, because I'm going to try and do these 3 paintings because they have a lot of buff color in them. So I'm going to pour some of that in here. And don't ask me how I know how much. I just kind of do because I've been doing it for a while. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Yeah, just take it off and put it in there. Yuck. Big paint booger. And they, you know, cowboys have on jeans these days. Back in the day, I guess they had some kind of little cloth pants that they wore that buttoned before they invented zippers. So, oh, I don't think I stirred this paint up. I added water to the brown. Well, I added water and then I added a little bit more brown because I have been using this brown. I've got some pretty nice pours out of this. So I'm just going to add some because I need quite a bit of the brown. And pretty sure I added some more paint to the, this is a color called caramel. And I just get these from like Mart or Michael's. I think I got these from Michael's, some of these paints. And I try to match them up. They're pretty good about matching them up, matching up the colors. Oh, that one's stuck. Pretty good about matching up colors. That seems a little thick. I don't know, maybe. I think it could use a little water. I'm going to give it a little bit of water here so that if your paint's too thick and it doesn't flow really well, then you will have a problem. I said this in my last video. If your paint's too thick and it doesn't flow really well, you will have a problem when it comes to pouring it. If it's too thin, then you kind of have the same problem, but it's not as big a problem. And what happens is that the bubbles don't really form very well when you have that going on. I don't think I stirred this one up either. I can't remember adding any orange. Do I need orange? I don't really need a lot of orange. I didn't add much. I don't think I added any orange to this. This is a color that's called pumpkin. And I think I added a little bit of my outrageous orange to this. And I don't know if I added any more real orange to that. I don't think I did. I think I just added some more Floetrol. So this is going to be a lot more Floetrol and a lot less orange. Now my red's getting kind of thick. And then I do have a little tiny bit of black, which I haven't used from the last one. So I'm going to try and do a couple of these and see what happens. I have a little bit of green in here. Let me see if I can move this wire out the way. And then we'll see what happens, because, you know, you never know. So I'm going to put this over here and turn my camera so you can hopefully see. And hopefully this time the camera will decide it doesn't want to be part of the picture. But you never know. It might decide suddenly that as soon as I start messing with it, that, oh yeah, I want to be part of this. And then I'll be like, oh wow, no, let's not do that. I know that this is really, it's getting kind of dark outside, so I know it's really hard to see what's going on. And I have so many paints over here that I'll try and move this over just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Really many places to put this. I have this on a desk, so it's like you're going to be able to see a whole lot more of this. I don't want it to go too far away because I have only like about like 3/4 of an inch before the edge of the desk and paint starts falling in my lap. So I really don't want that to happen. So I'm going to stir this just only a little bit and then pour like a little white border on here. And hopefully that will keep most of this paint from flowing around. And this white is pretty thick. So I'm going to just put a little border around the edge. And hopefully that will contain most of my paint. And I'm going to leave a lot so that I have more of my buff. Because I have buff. I guess I'm doing the red, white, and blue one right now. And I'm going to put some buff on here. So I can have some sand color in here. And I have buff in all 3 of them, but I'll add a little caramel in here too. And see what happens. We'll see how well these colors mix together. I'm kind of liking that. I'll add a little yellow. There's a little bit of yellow back there. Not much. There's a little bit. I don't want to bump my table because last time this thing started falling over. That's definitely no fun. This is not supposed to be a comedy show. There's not supposed to be comic relief in here. And just so that we have a little graduation of colors, because what I'm noticing is that these browns and oranges look really nice with the reds, but I'm not going to add too much of them because as soon as I add that blue, it's going to be like, ooh, red, orange, and blue make brown. Well, orange and blue do make brown, so maybe that won't be too bad. We'll see what happens. But this red is very strong. And, you know, I don't really need a whole lot of colors in the middle. I'm going to add a little bit of dark brown in here since I have so much of it. And I'm going to take some of that and put that along the edges too. So, because since I have some white, I can pour some of that dark brown along that edge. And then I'm going to put some blue in there just along, just a little bit of blue. And it'll go, most of this blue will go off the edge when I start this. But I do want some on the inside where the red is. And then I'll pour some more red in there. Let me put a little green in there too. Oh, you know, if I put the green next to the orange, that might be a problem. Let me put a buffer of orange. Oh, no. Put a buffer of yellow. Yellow's friendly to everybody. There's no purple on here, so yellow will be my friend. In between that red and that orange and the green. Oh, there's a big green in there. This is going to be kind of wild looking. I don't know how this is going to come out. But, you know, it has all these colors of the people that they're wearing and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Put a little more brown in there. I have no idea how this is going to come out. Okay, so I'm going to get my spatula. Where did I do with that? Oh, geez, oh, here it is. I'm going to get my spatula, and I'm going to start moving colors around. First, I'm going to just start moving them and let them move as they will. I didn't see a lot of bubbles. I maybe like waited too long for some of this meat. But I kind of want some of it to mix around a little bit. Oh, I see a few bubbles coming. All right, so I'm going to like take my spatula and just start dragging it across so it can like make some of those bubbles come up. Interesting. Oh, those are nice. And then maybe some of these over here. And let's drag this across. You know, if I want to get back some of those colors, the only thing I have to do is just tilt this, and then my colors will come back. But I'm kind of liking some of these bubbles that are forming. So I don't want to get too crazy with this. And I want to keep some of my cool bubbles. So I'm going to, here's where all the movement comes in, because you guys are going to move. The camera's going to move over here to the other side, and I'm going to try and keep from getting my mic cord involved in the paint. And I'm going to move the camera over here so you guys see me pour this, because this isn't really the pouring part yet. I kind of poured it, but not really. So I'm going to move you over here so that you can see that little space right there. And then I'm going to grab this and bring this over here. And then I'm going to start pouring it. And hopefully I don't pour any of it in the other painting that I have right there, because I really kind of like what's going on here. So I'm going to pour some of this off of here. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. That's really cool. I want some of that red to go away because I don't want that much red in there. So I'm going to pour some of that red right off. So I want more buff. I like the buff. And I don't see much blue, unfortunately. So hopefully more of the blue will come. I'm going to let that like slide down there. So let this slide on this side. Oh, I'm kind of liking that. Oh, wow, yeah. That's kind of cool. It has a lot of color in it. It's not as subdued looking as the photo was. But I really want some more of that buff to come. So I'm gonna have to do something different with it, but I'm kind of liking that. So I'm gonna let this slide down this way a little bit. So I want more of that buff. I like that. I want that buff to be the dirt part. And the other part to be like, yeah. It's going to be a little bit more exciting, I think, than the background that she's on. So I'm going to put that down. Uh-oh, I'm getting a little close to the edge of my other art here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of my hand on here so that some of this color gets on here. And see if I can get some of that color to slide down a little bit. I still want that buff in there, but I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose any of it. So I see a lot of it in the thing. Okay, let me step around here and see if I can get some of that color to hit the sides. Because I like to have a gallery wrap on my artwork. And I don't want to have like a lot of extra paint. Let me wash my hands really quickly. And then I'll dip into some of my buff paint. And once I do that, then I'll be able to put some of that paint on there. And I may even pour a little bit of paint on there just so I have some of the buff that I want. Because I like the colors that I have, but it's kind of busy for what I'm going to do with it. But I do like what I have there. But I want to put a little, I'm going to take a brush and paint some of that buff that I have here. I'm going to paint some of that on the side just so that anyone wanting to buy this will be able to have a gallery wrap side of it. And then I'm going to pour just a little bit of it